This is a paradox question, right? So what do we need to figure out before we go into the answers?
If X then Y.
Why something, even though something else? So why what? Why what? What's your why question here?
Why is there more innovation in painting?
Why is there more innovation in painting than sculpture, even though what was true about this time period?
The sponsors discouraged innovation.
Yeah, the sponsorship from the Academy discouraged innovation, and the Academy was the main contributor, if not the only contributor, to arts at this time. Why was there a difference between sculpture and painting? We don't have any, they didn't tell us. Okay, answer choice A. Is this, was anyone tempted by A? No. It's the exact opposite of what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
If the French Academy gave more of its resources to painting, we would expect painting to be even less innovative than sculpture.
Paradox is strong.
Yeah, it makes the paradox worse.
But
Yes.
even regardless of the amount of money spent, they could just discourage innovation the same amount between the two, right?
Well, I guess if they're giving more money to one than to the other, I would assume that they would have more influence in that area. Not necessarily, they don't have to, but it seems likely or possible.
Possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that would make the paradox worse, right? At the very least, though, it doesn't help. You're cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't help explain why painting was more innovative. B, the Academy supported a greater number of sculptors than painters, but individual painters received more support on average than individual supporters.
Kind of a wash.
Yeah, it's like confusing set of facts, right? Like, okay, but the individuals got more, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not any conclusions.
Part of me was just like, okay, it seems to be like on balance, but let's keep it open. C says, because stone was so much more expensive than paint and canvas, far more unsupported paintings were produced. If you're an unsupported painting, then you're not beholden to anyone. Then were unsupported sculptures in France during this time period. If that's true, then okay, that would explain why there was more innovation in painting, because there weren't as many painters beholden to the Academy. I liked C, so I didn't ever go back to B to try to figure out why it's wrong, but my gut reaction even now is like it seems to be kind of on balance, like there's kind of a benefit in it.
This will be far more, which is a nice.
Yeah, super strong, right?
explanation.
And we want strong answers in paradox questions. Yeah.
I was debating between B and C as well, and what made me not decide B was it never explains what that support is.
Yeah.
I thought of it as like, okay, so more people.
Oh, it does say financially supported.
It says the Academy financially supported a greater number of sculptors than painters, but when it says individual painters received more support, what is that support? I was like, I don't know.
I think it would the financially would translate to the rest of the sentence. But even so, if the individual painters received more financial support on average than individual sculptors, it sounds like the individuals are still getting a lot of money, So now we're talking about it, it's like, it almost sounds like the painters would be more beholden. Maybe there was fewer sculptors. That's why less money was given to them. Maybe there was a greater number of sculptors, and that's why there was less money per sculptor than per individual painter.
There's a lot of rocks out there.
Yeah. Okay, answer choice D. Very few people did both. I don't see how that relates to anything. Answer choice E is wrong because it says the sponsors declined during the 19th century. Great, but how do we know the difference between the two, the painting and the sculpture, right? That's what we need to explain. Sound good? Okay. My last